of the vote. The next candidate anywhere close is Barletta with 12.4%. You can see there on the screen. Mastriano is just one of two GOP candidates to receive double-digit support already, with the majority of Republicans still undecided. A little more right. As 45, President Trump has yet to endorse a candidate. However, he might be leaning Doug's way. We'll see. Here now representing Pennsylvania's 33rd district and hoping to become the next governor of the Keystone State, State Senator Doug Mastriano. Also a former, as I just noticed on his lapel, Army Airborne. Thank you for your service, Doug. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, and thank you for your service as well.
Well, you know us Air Force guys, we like giving you airborne guys rides. And you can jump out and do the fight, and we'll just drop the bombs and move on. Let's talk about the poll. You're looking pretty good over there, Doug, in the Keystone State.
Yeah, that one actually has me lower than most polls. Most polls have me at 25% or so. You know what? We're going to act like I'm behind anyway until we win on the 17th of May. We're feeling pretty good, but we're going to fight hard.
So I know, like in a couple of these Senate races where 45 has been undecided, I think in Ohio and elsewhere, he has not pulled the trigger on endorsement yet. I'm sure you've chatted with the man. Any word on when he might be jumping in to this race and giving his endorsement?
Yeah, I actually have no idea. I spoke to him a couple months ago, but he's the wild card, that's for sure.
Well, you kind of are too, Doug. Let's talk about your background. I mean, you know, brag yourself up a little bit here on your service, not only to this nation, but to the state that you're trying to be the top executive of.
Well, served the country for 30 years in uniform as a soldier. And I, like most colonels, I had a sweet job lined up, you know, kind of right off in the sunset. But I was taking stock of my service. And I'm really no hero, but I served with lots of heroes. But after 30 years of service, 4 combat deployments, 12 years out of the country, I was really heartbroken that I was handing off the state and the nation in worse shape than how I got it from my dad's generation. He was a Navy man. And I just was challenged by a young man when I was complaining about this back when I was still a colonel in the Army. He's like, well, Colonel, do something about it. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. It's time to step into this icky arena called politics.
Yeah. And you've been a state senator how long now?
3 years.
Okay, so you're fresh. Yeah, you're diehard, lifelong career military who jumped into it to make a difference. I tried that a few years back and didn't win. So good for you. You got that first race out of the way. You've been a state senator now for 3, and now you're trying for the big chair. And we know Pennsylvania has had its fair share of issues over the last 2 or 3 years, which I'm sure is what's really pushed you into this race for governor.
Yeah, it really has. And we saw the shutdown. Our governor, like the governor in New York, sent the sick under Levine, Admiral Levine. Only a Democrat will get, rewarded for failed policies. Sent the sick back into the nursing homes, killing 16,000 of our elderly. Levine gets promoted. Wolf gets a free pass. The shutdown, very few people in the General Assembly actually fought to reopen the state, stood with the people to reopen businesses, protect families, the students, medical freedom and all that. And so in the end, the people of the state, and this is not talking points. I don't do talking points. I'm a retired colonel, so you know the deal. People across the state are like, Doug, we need you to run for governor. You're the only one that did anything. All these guys running for governor crawled out of the foxhole and the fighting was over. You're beating your chest, making promises that they didn't keep when they could have. And so we're in this for the people and for the freedom of our nation.
Good for you. Good for you. Let's talk about election integrity, because you obviously were very, very vocal in 2020, and you have been ever since, even when critics, some from our own party, ripped you for it and said, okay, come on, Doug, knock it off, get over it, move on, the election's over. You stood your ground.
So the election happens in 2020 on November 3rd, and I start hearing from thousands of people from across the state. I built these relationships as the face of the reopen movement and what have you, and they're like, Senator, do something. And I wrongly imagined that these career politicians, with decades of service in the Senate would do something. And it didn't do anything. So I held that hearing in Gettysburg, and it just blew the lid off this. So anything we see in Wisconsin and Arizona and Georgia has its roots actually in the hearing in Gettysburg. Attempting to get that forensic investigation, that looked like Arizona, what I saw in June of last year. Of course, I was within a day of issuing subpoenas until a career politician ripped me out from my committee to block me, a Republican, by the way.
Of course. That's one thing that I think people are going to find out in these next coming up elections, whether it's the midterms this November or 2 years from now in 24 as well. I think people are going to see Patriots, Americans, are going to get rid of a lot of these rhinos. Okay, they want America
Yes.
first style candidates and then politicians to do our will, our bidding, not of the party. And that's what we're sick and tired of. Doug, if you had 2 or 3 major key issues you feel are the most important to Pennsylvania voters that you are going to take action on day one when you step in, kind of like the team down in Virginia did when they jumped in. You know, They immediately pulled back COVID restrictions, immediately giving parental rights more to the parents in the classroom. I mean, they set goals, and by golly, they've been doing them down in Virginia. What would it be and what would it look like for a Governor Mastriano on day one?
Yeah, day one, we're out of this regional greenhouse gas initiative that's driving up our energy costs by 30%. We're going to unleash the potential of energy in Pennsylvania. We'll be the #1 coal and gas producer, natural gas, driving down prices and safeguarding our allies also. Additionally, school choice, that's going to be a fight. Obviously, I have to work the legislative body on that, but we do need to stop funding this $30 billion system in Pennsylvania and instead fund students. And foremost in my mind, of course, is the right to life. I'm going to do anything I can to advance these issues on the first day. First day, any edicts or mandates are gone. Any jab requirements for your job are gone. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful time. It's going to be a new day in PA.
Nice. And with, I hate to bring them up, with those disturbing images we saw coming out of New York that we showed on the program last night, I'm sure you're familiar with it, of the 5 aborted babies, or DC rather, pardon me, not New York. We know we've got to get a handle on this. Not to mention, you saw what the governor in Colorado just did, right? Now allowing late-term abortions right up until, I believe it was the time of birth. Am I correct? I know it was 9 months, and he just signed that day before yesterday.
Yeah,
so you have governors out there pushing even a more radical agenda for abortion, and then we hear from guys like you who are like, we're going to try and stop this. I mean, it's polar opposites of the spectrum right now.
Yeah, it's time that we really do follow the science. That's not a blob of tissue. That's a baby. And it's, and the Democrats, my body, my choice. Well, that's somebody else's body. Really? Do you have 2 heads, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 hearts? No, I don't think so. So on day one, any discretionary funding is done for abortion, taxpayer dollars in any way that's being spent. It's done. And we're going to redirect that towards adoption and foster care.
Well, I haven't heard from a lot of the other candidates except seeing some videos here or there. Nobody's reached out to come on the program. You and I already have a relationship, I think, for the last 2 years because of the election and COVID. So I'm telling you, I used to live in Philly, Manayunk, to be precise. And if I was a Manayunk resident again, I'm pretty sure, Doug, you'd have my vote. I think just those 4 or 5 things you mentioned there, you're going to do on day one, has to resound with a majority, and that's all you need, 51%. I would hope a majority of Keystone State voters see that in a Mastriano and say, let's put you up there in the governor's mansion. Doug, thanks for coming on the program. Appreciate you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for your service, brother.
Yep, you too. Take care.
Thank you so much, Doug. You're clear.
Thank you, Peyton. Talk to you next time.
Yep, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, bye. That's going to be on OAN tonight, I think, at 8 o'clock. Dan Ball show. He's a great guy, and he's right. We do have about a 2-year relationship thanks to the Gettysburg hearing and the shutdown and what have you. Yeah, it's madness in our country. So it's just, I know I haven't been on this channel in a while because I usually use it for looking at my emails and what have you when I'm live. But the next 40 days or so, it's going to be interesting. I understand one of the swampy candidates, the swampiest candidate that even has a slim chance of winning, and I don't think he does. He just has a lot of money behind him. He's just launched negative ads on me and several others. And come to find out, that guy was a lifelong Democrat, actually. He apparently supported Al Gore and Bill Clinton and was a Democrat during the Reagan years. Are you kidding me? We have a fraud on our hands. Anyway, that's kind of scary. And now running as the establishment choice for governor. This is, they think we're stupid. They think this is 2016, they'll say 2015. They think it's 2018. They're acting like the world hasn't changed under COVID. Now, our eyes are wide open. I'm in this race for you guys here. Vanessa from Luzerne. I look forward to being up there soon. And Anthony Mifflin. So Rebbe and I are in this race because many of you that are watching right now, I see, talk to Rebbe and myself and appeal to us. Some of you with tears in your eyes. I don't mean to conflate anything, so please don't take it the wrong way. But imagine the race without Mastriano in it. Would you really have a choice? And Patty Jean, you were one of those that asked me to run for governor. So Cynthia, actually, Jake is they've abandoned Jake because he's failing. He doesn't even poll more than 5%. So Cheryl and Erie, good to see you. There's another one that they've gravitated to, and he's got big money behind him. And High Flyer, that's right. We have a grassroots movement here, so that's how we overcome it. So as I list on my social media, I don't know if all of you would tune in there, and some of you do. But please volunteer. We need your help. Can't do it without you. This is a grassroots movement, and many of you asked me that this jump in this arena. I'm happy to be in the fight. No other place I'd love to be than in this battle for our freedoms. But please volunteer if you can. Please donate if you can, and don't let it be between putting gas in your car or food or medicine and giving to me. I don't want that choice. If you have a little something left over, don't apologize if it's $5 or $10 either. I mean, because it's like we have not a very strong presence here, but it's 34 people. If 30 some people gave $10 each, that would add up to a fair sum. So volunteer, give, talk to your friends, family, and neighbors about me. Just so you know, artistically mine, Kelly Ann Conway is working for Jake. Jake bought her for several $100,000. So she doesn't know me. She hasn't read anything about me. She's just talking whatever Jake feeds her, and she was bought for a price. When all this went down in 2020, she was already gone. Her toxic husband and she were gone, and she has no clue what happened between election integrity and my relationship with Donald Trump. She has no idea. So volunteer meeting in Harrisburg on Saturday. That's fantastic. So she's not even worth our time. I do have a term for somebody like that. I'm not going to, it's a bit profane. I'm not going to use it on here. So we have an antidote page that you can give through. Trying to think of a way to do this without disrupting the live stream. If I can post a link. Let me try real quick. No, I don't think I can do it. If you go to dougforgov.com, click on the tab that says donate now. Sorry, we're in Harrisburg. This camera is, I can't use this for live broadcast because, it's the light shifts on it too much. Let me just block it real quick. There's the camera. It has me like really pale and white now. That's going to get real dark. And then, of course, I'm doing an interview like, hey, what happened to the lights there? And if I adjust them, it keeps on making it darker. Okay. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Uncle Joe? I got it on full beam now. Watch, it's going to start dimming. My hand's off it. Anyway. So, thank you for your donation, High Flyer. I'm gonna manually dim this though. It's too bright to read. Well, if you can get me in the Bhutanese population, I'd be really happy. So if you have a circle of people that sorry. If you are a member of a community that I'm not part of, please get me in there. Like the Latinos from Mastriano, that's going to be huge. I'd love to be. I'd love to hear from the Bhutanese people and hearing what your concerns are. I think many of them are the same concerns that I think most of us share, but I'm sure there's specific issues like school choice and what have you. That'd be great. So as far as, people always ask, hey, when you come into my county, if I'm within an hour, 90 minutes of you and I have an event, thank you, Anthony, Latino and Cuban, and support us 100%. I do appreciate that. If I'm within 90 minutes of you, you're going to have to make a little bit of a drive. So we're running out of time. So, obviously the summer after we win the primary will be, you'll see it's a lot of days. So And starting in July, because June is, of course, budget month. I do have a job. I'm a senator. So I'm a senator. I'm running a statewide campaign, and we're successful in both. I have made Ghost. I have a individual already selected for Secretary of State. That person has agreed. I have not announced that yet, but you're going to love the choice. Somebody who knows voting integrity like no one else in the nation. And I'm going to have a team around her of experts, other experts as well, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I think we have about a year to get our election scored away and restore integrity to it, and I can do it. As governor, I absolutely can do it. Cheryl, I have endorsed for U.S. Senate Kathy Barnett, and she's okay. So anyone, Erie, Du Bois, Clearfield, Clarion, Newcastle, Butler, Beaver counties, Indiana counties, come to our rally on Saturday, Mercer County, exit 1N off of Interstate 80. I used to drive that a whole bunch. It's a rough road in the wintertime. It's the last exit before you go in Ohio. So if you're within 90 minutes, this is your chance to see Rebby and I. Normally, our rallies include 1,000 plus people. Okay, my kickoff rally had 1,400. My Lancaster one on a Tuesday night had over 1,000. This one, we cannot have 1,000. It's a lot smaller facility. So that's, yeah, Patty Jean, I don't know if you make it. I know you work. I know you have your business to run, but it's 1 o'clock on Saturday in Mercer County. Just hop on Interstate 80 and come on down I-80 and come over to the Sharon exit. And it's right there. The flyers on my Doug for Gov page or my Facebook page or my Twitter page, Fighting for Freedom. Rebby will be speaking because that's her home area. Our good friend of ours, Bill Rudge, will be speaking as an international ministry. Crazy stories, too, of around the world. Don't know if he made it to Bhutan. I know he made it into Tibet. So, of course, the great Teddy Daniels, and of course, the fantastic Kathy Barnett. And our keynote speaker is Jenna Ellis, and she is absolutely superb. And you do have to RSVP. I think all the free seats are gone. I think there might be a few paid seats, but we do have standing room. And come standing room, and someone doesn't show up, maybe you can get a seat. But since it's going to be less than 1,000 people, you'll have a good chance of talking to Rebby and I, and Teddy and Kathy and Jenna. And of course, music is going to be by the great Danny Goki, of American Idol fame and a great Christian artist. And he's going to lead us in song and in worship. It's going to be a blast. So, High Flyers, I'm working on the event in Gettysburg on the 23rd. Thank you. Yeah, please do share this. Thank you for reminding me, Susie. I can almost just read this without squinting too much. So anyway, so Nina, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll down. So, and thank you. I worked. I know it's a different group of people, but worked with Gurkhas in Afghanistan. By the way, anyway, an amazing, historically rich region, a vast region in the Himalayas over there. But what you do? So go to doug4gov.com, Doug the number 4gov.com, DOUG 4 GOV, and click on volunteer. And in there for volunteering, say, hey, I talked with the senator on YouTube, and I want to get him. It's the Bhutanese community, and here's my email or number. And then one of my team, you'll probably hear from my campaign manager, Vish, who's Indian, Asian Indian. So a huge region over there, rich cultures. And Vish will probably you'll probably hear directly from him. If not, one of my schedulers, and that would be either Dar or BJ. But I think he will in this case here, since it's a community outreach, and I'd be honored. And if you can, of course, provide me with, once we get it locked up, we'll probably need to talk privately or directly, and that you can just, kind of inform me on the major issues that your community wants addressed. So I can imagine if the communities in Philadelphia, school choice will be a big one, funding the police and security and safety, but I'm not sure. I know there's a large Indian community and Pakistani community in the Philly area. Yeah, Philly has a lot of diversity. There's a large Russian community, Ukrainian, Lithuanians are some there, but some out by the coal mines. But thank you guys for tuning in. I do have to dash. Thank you for sharing with me that idea. Vish is a good man. We're blessed with him. Susie, I don't know what you said there. Thank you. Naina? I'm trying not to do it with the European. So Naina. Guru. I've seen you on here quite a bit when I do this. So thanks for that great idea. Oh, high flyer. I met Vish on the Zoom. So as far as the illegal immigrants being flown in, we have no idea where they're going. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Praying a blessing over you guys. 40 some days ago for the first hurdle, and then after that, the big one. And we're thankful for the great news it consistently has us ahead. That's great. It's encouraging, but we're going to run like we're behind, and we need your help to really ensure there's enough in this undecided Republicans to really bring somebody else out. And so with that one swamp creature doing hit pieces on me and on two other candidates, I mean, I don't know if it's going to have an effect. I'm going to go off that weak poll that had me at 16%. Usually I'm at 20 something. But let's say that he's that dude's 10 points behind me. Does he have enough time? So right now he's shotgun blasting everybody. Is that enough time to gain 10 points? I don't know. I think there's so much noise right now, and especially all the high payers for the Senate race. There's just so many campaign ads, and it's so early. I think things will start tightening up towards the end of this month. As far as people paying attention, I think our lead's going to grow exponentially. But I need your help, and let's not rest on our laurels because we haven't won anything. So please tell your friends and family to get behind me and support me. And if you can donate, please do. If you can volunteer, please do, as Made Ghost that has been doing, and so many others on here. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Paulette, what's up? Door knockers. Yeah, that's right now. We're doing door knocking. We're thank you for that, high flyer. We really need more people to sign up with door knock. Our initial goal, I don't know. I don't think Vish made this public. Maybe he did. Sadly, Rebby and I could not make that volunteer Zoom. But right now we're asking people to door knock with palm cards and door hangers, and to personally ask people to get behind me. Nothing beats that. 100,000 doors knocked on, 100,000 votes potentially, maybe 200,000 if it's a household with 2 or 3. So, love you guys, and I'm going to saddle up now. Have a great night, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for volunteering. I see that, high flyer. Appreciate it. Yes, and most importantly, Josh in Arizona, please pray for Rebby and I and my son and daughter-in-law. Paulette's knocking on doors and handing out cards everywhere. That's beautiful. Put yard signs out if you have them. Ask your neighbors. Grab a few extra. Get your neighbors to put them out. Hand out palm cards. Tell people about me. You got to vote for Doug for governor. And, why? And then it's so easy. We've been through a lot together the past 2 years. But foremost, please do pray. Thank you, Patsy. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Take care.